Hey, my name is Will Stein. I'm the co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at UTSA. Today I'm going to talk to you about our mesh and variations that we carry within it. Okay, so our mesh, we have an L and R derivative with it because basically what we do is we call left mesh and right mesh. So we call it Lubbock and Raider. Give a little tip of the hat to Mike Leach. I know this isn't exactly his mesh, but I'm sure he does it now, if I had to guess. So we categorize this in a couple different ways, but the package of this play is a full field read, meaning we have a box alert, which in this case is a 6-step speed out, and we have a foundational read, which is our mesh. The back on a rail, okay? The left outside receiver on an OTB, standing for over the ball. Left slot on a high mesh, setting the depth. Okay, the number one away is running a low mesh, okay, setting the mesh. This protection scheme is going to be a 5-man scat protection. I'm about to get into all the nuts and bolts of this here in a second. Okay, so the package, like I said, is a full field read. What does that mean? We have an alert and a foundation, okay? The box alert is truly our one-on-one. Okay, I know this isn't a 3-by-1 formation, but we can still have this type of box alert in a 2-by-2 look, okay? The foundation, like I said, is mesh. And how do we read this play? It's going to be a left to right or right to left. It's a pure progression. The thought process on any full field read, if I have my one-on-one, I'm going to play it. If I got a 2-on-1, cloud, sky, whatever it is, or I'm in doubt, I'm going to play the foundation of the play. Okay, so here's the progression. First, let's start with the Okie, the box alert. This is a divider split 6-step speed cut out. Okay, it has rules. An unmatched look, meaning off and soft, or bail, the route will stay on, 6 steps. Okay, if I matched, cloud or press, my rule is I'm going to win on a go for a touchdown. So again, Okie, divider split, unmatched, Okie, matched, win on a go for a touchdown. Okay, that's my box alert. That's my first thought as a quarterback. Okay, if I'm in doubt, or it's 2-on-1 on the box alert Okie, I'm going to play the foundation of the read. Okay, the foundation of the read on the left mesh. Okay, the back is going to run a rail route. Okay, the rail route's rules, he's going to aim at the heels of the receiver, the number one receiver into the boundary, and his final landmark is going to be the bottom of the numbers. If he were to run it to the field, we want him to be +3 outside of the hash. Okay, but the rail route is going to be typically ran into the boundary. Landmark, bottom of the numbers. He's my number one. Okay, the number 2 is going to be the low mesh on this side. Okay, so this is left mesh. That's where the back's railing. That's where the OTB and the high mesh are. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The progression, okay, 1 to the back. Okay, 2 to the low mesh, which we go on the other side of the formation. He's going to be split 4 yards outside the tackle. Okay, his job is to set the mesh. He does not set the depth. Okay, so the quarterback's read on the progression side, on the left mesh side, is going to be 1 to the back, 2 to the low mesh, staying on the move. We're not shutting it down here. We're going to stay on the move. We want him to catch and circle the defense. Okay, his third in the progression is the over the ball route, okay, which is ran majority of the time on the same side as the back railing. Okay, so in this look, this left mesh, it's going to be our X. He's going to minus his split down. He's going to run 10 yards over the ball and get big. Get big. Okay, we don't need him to curl. He's going to hook up right now. If anything, he can bank back out. Don't bank back in. Okay, the reason being is because that low mesh stays on the move. So if anything, if he banked out, we still have enough grass for him to work that route. If he banked in, our high mesh, which is the next in the progression, has the ability to stop and chop. So the high mesh's rule, he's going to set the depth 4 to 6 yards underneath the linebackers. He's reading grass to his side. If there's a defender in his grass, he's going to stop and he's going to chop. Okay, if there's not a defender in his grass, he's going to look and he's going to book. So what does that do? That paints a picture to the quarterback, okay, with the body language, the demeanor, and the eyes of the receiver. Because the quarterback is reading this pure progression and not movement key based, he's not going to be super in touch with what's going on to the field flat. So the receiver, whether he's stopping and chopping his feet and his hands, or he's looking and booking, is going to paint the picture to the quarterback. Okay, the protection. We use a 5-man scat protection with this play. Okay, scat meaning the back is coming out of the backfield. It is not an empty protection. It is scat. So just basic rules. In an even front, the O-line's going to have the 4 down on the ID. Okay, we can alert squeeze to the man side of the protection if we got internal run through. Okay, 3 down, we like to game plan it. Whether we fan the boundary, whether we base nose double sort, that's all game plan dependent. Okay, in bear, we're going to 5-0, meaning we're going to block the 5 most dangerous up front with the potential to squeeze versus a plug backer, okay, on the man side of the protection. Okay, the tailback, his rule is he's going to free release into the route. Like I said, if it's a left mesh, he's going to release left. If it's a right mesh, he's going to release right. Quarterback, just trying to make the rules real simple for him, okay? And the way that we teach it really is any too high look, we say we're good. Okay, now I know there's some ways that you might be able to scheme it up, but for the majority of the time, too high, we're good. Rotation to the slide side, okay? So if we're sliding to the right, manning to the left, rotation to the slide, we're good. Okay, how the O-line can push the point out one, okay, and take any edge pressure. And we're obviously all already pointing to that mic spot. If the rotation happens away from the slide, that's when we have to have the light bulbs go off and potentially redirect the slide. Basic 5-man scat protection. Okay, the goal of this play, we want to attack the one-on-one of the field because we know we got an alert. We want to create a natural rub for the running back and the low mesh versus man coverage. And we also want to create a horizontal and a vertical stretch with the underneath coverage. Okay, that's the goal of the play. The roadblocks, what happens when it doesn't work? Okay, usually it has splits related to it where the low mesh is split too wide. He's number 2 in the read, but he's split on the hash. Well, that's too wide. You can't get there. Okay, we have a poor mesh between the high and the low mesh. We're going to look like a Little League team at times because we'll clap hands, we'll rub shoulders. We want that thing to be tight. Okay? Quarterback not trusting the progression. Okay? Might be working past a receiver too quickly. In the past, drop 8 has been an issue at times. Just depends. It really depends on the type of drop 8, the coverage, but that has been an issue in any type of scheme where you're dropping a lot of guys in coverage. It can be an issue in the pass game. Especially if there's a lot of underneath coverage. And then scat protection problem versus like exotic pressures. Anytime you're going to run 5-man protection schemes, you have to be able to sort it out, and you have to be able to change the protection with the quarterback or the center. Okay, so we're just going to go through this by route. First route in the progression is going to be your Okie, your box alert. Okay, this is our basic way to run this play. Out of a pro twins or a deuce look. All right, we have rotation of the field, we have a buzz coverage, but because of the nature of the route, okay, we feel we can get that ball up and over any type of nickel sand. Now, if he is working to the side of the Okie, all right, of the box alert, we don't go back to the boundary to read it. We will stay with our eyes on that side of the ball and reverse engineer our read. So if we played the Okie and didn't like it for some reason, now we just come back to the high mesh, to the OTB, to the low mesh. Okay, just different ways to run it. Okay, a little motion, starting to bunch, create a stack set. Now this Okie will spray release or gain on an angle. We'd like him to take 2 more steps on this, but again, we got a true box alert, one-on-one look, post safety. We're going to take advantage of one-on-ones all day. Here's a 2 tight end look, an ace look. Again, getting a quarter shell, one-on-one to the field. We're going to take that off a quick 3 drop, meaning he's going to hit it on the plant, get the ball out on time. One thing we talked to the quarterbacks about, higher, not harder mentality. You don't have to throw a freaking a one ball to the field. Higher, not harder. It's all about timing and ball placement. Okay, here's a little FIB look out of a wing twins. Again, I have a box alert. This boundary apex player is not buzzing out to the flat. Okay, I have a one-on-one. I'm going to take it all day on quick 3. 1, 2, 3, ball out.